everybody. Welcome back to episode 5 of That's whY2K. Gen Z has the floor. My name is Nisaa Muhammad. I serve as the Community Outreach Specialist and AmeriCorps member, and I'm also the one of the crew mentors this year for Crew 2021. And so with us today, we have 6 very special individuals who have blessed us and became crew interns. So why don't you all take a moment to introduce yourselves?
Hi, I'm Stanley Statemeyer. I'm one of the crew interns, like Nisaa said, and I'm a junior. And I'm just really excited to be a part of crew and getting to learn so many different skills. And I can't wait to talk with you guys today.
Hi, my name is Kylah Gooden. I am going to be a senior this year, and I'm a part of crew. And the reason why I wanted to be a part of this recording is because it really hits home for me about my history, and it means a lot to me.
Hey, I'm Dynasty Johnson, an upcoming junior at Olin High School. I'm also a crew intern, and I'm luckily happy to be part of this conversation because I could possibly be the voice for the girls who feel but can't verbally say what they want to about our history.
Hi, I'm Tiara Davis. I'm an upcoming sophomore at Ramsay High School, and I want to be a part of this conversation because I really like to learn about our history.
Hey, I'm Jadon Kennebrew. I'm an 11th grader. I also am a crew intern, and I want to be a part of this conversation because I'm really into my culture, so I just like to be a part of conversations just like this.
Hi, my name is Lazarus Jackson. I'm also a crew intern, and I'm a graduating senior, planning on going to UA, and I'm happy to be in this conversation because it's a lot that I can learn and a lot that I can say also to help others and help myself. So I'm excited.
Love. All right. So as y'all can see, we have some really amazing students with us today. I promise you, this is about to be a conversation like no other. So the first thing that we like to do, if you are true to this, not new to this, you know that anytime we have a conversation such as this, we like to give homage to those who came before us, to the ancestors who weren't able to celebrate Juneteenth. And before I get there, let me let y'all know this episode is called Let's Talk Black History from Juneteenth, which is today. So happy Juneteenth, everybody, to June 2021. And so this moment of silence is for the ancestors, the waymakers, the change agents. And this is an acknowledgement and respect for those whose lives have been taken at the hands of police brutality and those who have tried to honestly just make things better for Black people. And so this moment of silence is for you. All right, party people. Are we ready to get into this? So if you're, like I said, true to this and not new to this, you know we have to keep y'all updated with what is going on in the world. So Darnella Frazier, some of you may know the name, some of you may not. She is the young lady who bravely recorded and reported the murder of George Floyd. May he rest in peace. And she also testified during the Chauvin trial. She's being recognized for that brave act, right? For speaking up, for showing what she had, and for really making sure that it didn't go unnoticed. And she's getting an honorary Pulitzer Prize. I think that is super, super amazing. And it just goes to show that good deeds do not go unnoticed, especially when it's something as impactful as this. So kudos to her, Queen. We appreciate you. And you know, here are your flowers. Also, the CDC is going to have an emergency meeting after an increase in cases of heart inflammation from people who've taken the Pfizer and Moderna vaccine, right? So the meeting is supposed to take place on June 18th. So that was yesterday on Friday, it took place. And they want to discuss like how the numbers are higher than they anticipated and hopefully find some type of a solution to the 226 reports of heart inflammation. So hopefully they come up with something for that. Okay, y'all. Y'all know how I feel about the babies. I'm sensitive when it comes to them. I have a heart for them. So I use the word man very loosely here. There was a human being by the name of Ryan Lee Nugent, who was released on a $10,000 fine 3 days after he thought it appropriate to shoot a 6-year-old boy who was playing outside. The young boy's name was Kobe, and he was playing in the front yard with his siblings. He left his bike in Nugent's yard, went to retrieve it. Nugent threatened him with what was it? He threatened him with another item, and then decided to get a shotgun and shoot the child. The little boy did survive. However, he is now, unfortunately, he suffers from PTSD. So there's that. And then in light of Mental Health Awareness Month being this month or last month in May, Naomi Osaka, y'all, I have Friday brain terribly. Naomi Osaka announced that she will be withdrawing from the Berlin tournament. She needs a break from tennis. And if you all have you all followed along with that, where she basically was fined for not doing the interviews? So yeah, she decided that instead of, having to consistently worry about being fined for things, she's just gonna take a break, have a moment. And so kudos to her for putting her mental health first. And even if no one else is standing by you, girl, you've got my support. Call me. I know you don't know me, but call me. We can talk self-care, all of that good stuff. All right. So, crew cousins, are y'all ready? Let's talk about Juneteenth. What do y'all know about it? First off, let's start there.
I know about Juneteenth Day. It's about remembering the past and moving towards a future that involves absolute equality.
Absolutely. Anyone else?
To be ridiculed, the Juneteenth is a day dedicated to the official day of slaves. Some slaves enslaved slaves being set free, but it wasn't until 1865 when they got to Texas and realized that's when other slaves found out that they were free.
History lesson, okay. Is it something that y'all learned about in y'all schools?
No. No, ma'am.
No.
Okay. How do y'all feel about that? Like, do y'all feel like that's not a flaw in the school system, but do you feel like that's something that is missing? Especially now since, it's a recognized holiday for all to enjoy and not have to go to work and or service. Do you feel like it almost is like, well, why aren't we learning about why we're not in school or at work?
I do definitely feel like it should be talked about somewhere in social studies in school. It's an important event to not just our race either. It's a federal holiday now. But yep, I do believe it should be pushed and forced into the school system somewhere, somehow.
I agree with Dynasty. I think that it just kind of came out the blue for me. Like Juneteenth, like was Juneteenth in a way. I knew what it was, but it just kind of came out the blue.
Personally, for
go
me,
ahead, Stanley.
Oh, I was just gonna say that, I feel like going back to what Dynasty was saying, we learn about the Emancipation Proclamation in schools and about how that ended slavery and how without Abraham Lincoln that slavery would have never been ended. But we never actually learned how slavery ended and that process of soldiers having to go and actually free slaves throughout the country.
Okay, y'all came in smoking today.
I was just gonna say, I think personally, I feel the school system has a lot of flaws when it comes to what we learn and how we learn certain things. But things like Juneteenth I feel like it's very crucial, especially to us as Black people we need to know, because I haven't heard about it in school. And like Kylah said, it kind of sprung up on me too. Like, wow, it is Juneteenth. It should be something I should it should already be as soon as June hit, it should be in my head, but it wasn't. So yeah, I feel like it should be something taught in schools. But yeah.
I feel like teachers are going to try to bring it in during Black History Month, which it should. I mean, it should be a part of Black History, but it's more to this than just saying, oh, we got a month. Why not just throw it in there? Boom, there's your Juneteenth. Come on now.
I feel that. Absolutely. Tiara, your thoughts?
I pretty much agree with everybody because I never heard of, well, I heard of Juneteenth, but I was never taught of Juneteenth. So I actually had to do some research on my own, like a while back, because it crossed my mind. So yeah.
That's interesting to me, especially because we are in the South, and I know Birmingham is like majority of African American population. So you would think that it's something, and even if it wasn't, you would think that it's something that you still want to educate people on, right? Especially if education is the big thing that a lot of people push, and a lot of schools are like, yeah, go to college and know your background. And they even have the saying, like, you can't know your future until you know your past. However, when it comes to teaching Black children about the celebratory things when it comes to their past and their history, I feel like there is a ball that is dropped. Because we got it in my school. My school was called Afrocentric High School. Shout out to the Nubians. And we learned all of that. Like, that's all we got, to the point where when we went to the outside world, we were kind of like, why isn't everybody as hype about this as we are? So let me ask you all, do you feel as though with Juneteenth now being a federal holiday, right? That means everybody gets to celebrate it, people get to acknowledge it, whatever the case may be, people of all races. Do you think that it could take the same, I don't want to say turn or back seat, but do you think that it could become something huge for popularity? Almost like when people put Black Lives Matter in their bios now, or they say, you know, I don't see color, or if they're like, you know, we're an allyship with this or that. Do you think it'll be a trend versus important as it should be?
I kind of feel like it would do the opposite, that it would actually encourage people to teach about it more instead of being a trend, like Black Lives Matter.
I feel.
Go ahead, I'm sorry.
I feel both ways. I feel like it's gonna become a trend, and it's gonna be something that people don't take it serious. But then again, I feel like you can learn from it too. It depends on who and why they're teaching it.
Who's next? Go.
From what I've learned from society, and I guess you can say the news and different outlets, like Kylah said, it could be both ways, but it really depends on the intentions of the person. You do have a few white people or Caucasians, however you want to say it, that do use things like Juneteenth and Black Lives Matter to make themselves, I guess, feel like they up a bar or make themselves better than the next person next to them, or make Black people see them in another way, you know what I'm saying? To like make them feel like, hey, I'm your friend, you know. But, you know, for me, it never took somebody holding up a Black Lives Matter sign to say, okay, you're my friend. I never looked at a human being or a white person that way. But like I said, I really think it depends on the intentions of the person, who the person is. I don't really think I can say for sure that it could become a trend, which it could, but I just say you wouldn't really know. But yeah, I'm done.
To Lazarus' point, I totally agree. Like, I feel like it wouldn't be as genuine as a trend than it would be in something educational or actual movement. I feel like it'll be overlooked and portrayed as a trend, rather it would as an actual educational purpose and an actual, you know, looked at as an actual part of history, not just a tagline you put in your bio on a t-shirt just to give you a certain appearance. Or basically, if it's not genuine, it truly doesn't matter. Your support doesn't matter if it's not genuine. Because honestly, this side wouldn't understand this side as much as my brothers and sisters would. So I feel like as a trend, it wouldn't be as genuine as it would, you know, as an educational topic.
Adding on to what you said, I feel like right now, because how we talked about, like, a lot of people don't really know about Juneteenth, I feel like now is the time where we can try and make the holiday into what we need it to be. So that way it doesn't become a trend and that it becomes focused on teaching and so people can learn about what Juneteenth actually is and not some big party day, which part of it is, but it's got a deeper meaning to it.
I'm about to say, Stanley, don't take our parties. You know, we love to cook out for anything. We cook out when the sun comes out. You just gonna take the cookouts from us, man. Jadon, what do you think?
I think basically what all of them just said was spot on, because if people are just now finding out about Juneteenth, I feel like that most people in the world won't start doing something for it, like celebrating it, until a couple years later, once everybody gets to figure it out. But I mean, basically what they said, I mean, it's all right to me.
I love it. Yeah, I agree with you all. Oh, go ahead, Laz.
I was just gonna add one small thing. When it comes to Juneteenth and learning about it in school, like you know how we got the month for Black people. I was just gonna say, I don't think even if school is seeing it, I don't think they would like just implement it, you know, like that. It's been plenty of instances where schools have, or I ain't just gonna say schools, lots of people and teachers have seen stuff and been through stuff in life that they think should be taught in school, but it's still not there yet. I personally feel like that's how school is programmed to be on purpose for us. I ain't gonna just say us, but for people. I feel like that's how school is programmed to be. They don't want us to know everything. They don't want us to have all that knowledge. So they teach us what they teach us to keep us, you know, working, you know, at the 9 to 5s and all that. But yeah, I was just gonna say I don't think schools will implement that into the learning. And I know from experience, I've had a couple of teachers teach me and tell me things that wasn't even in the curriculum to be taught. So you could have those teachers that are still, you know, like in my social studies teacher was real cool. He would tell us all these crazy things and he like, that's not in the textbook. They don't want y'all learning that. So it's like, you can have some teachers showing you that, but like, I don't feel like schools will actually just put that in the system. Okay, they need to learn this. So.
Yeah, I agree with that. Tiara, any thoughts?
I agree with everybody, but I kind of feel like what Lazarus said, if they do implement it, they wouldn't teach us everything, because, you know, like a lot of history things, they don't teach us every single fact about it. They leave important details out. So I really hope when they start teaching other people about, like, younger people, well, you know, yeah, about Juneteenth, that they will like not leave out any facts and stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, go ahead, Kylah.
To go off of what Lazarus said, I feel like it will somewhat be in the history books. I just don't feel like it will go in depth. I feel like it's gonna be parts of it that's gonna be like shaded out. Like I feel like they're gonna have to somewhat kind of put it in the history book just because, but as a whole, I don't feel like it's gonna be like every little thing that we need to know, or like some of the bigger parts be shaded out.
I agree with all of you. I feel like y'all made some really great points, especially just when you think about like, you know, what you learned in school. Like I said, had I not went to the school I went to, I wouldn't know the stuff that I know. Like I wouldn't know the information that I know about Juneteenth. I wouldn't know about, you know, the really the history of our people. I mean, I probably would have because my family was teaching me like that. But had I left it to the school system, I probably wouldn't have got it. And when I went to college, I recognized that not everyone who looked like me got it. And like Kylah said, it might just be like a brief little brush over, like, oh yeah, Juneteenth is on this day and this is the day it's celebrated, and that's all you get, when it's more than that. Like there's so much information that goes into it, like who started it, what's it for, why does it even need to be a day in and of itself. So I definitely agree with y'all. Y'all are on it. Okay, I love it. So Frederick Douglass had a quote, right? And he says, because technically, if you really think about it, Juneteenth is Black Independence Day, right? If you really think about it like that. But America celebrates it on July 4th. That is the day that has been acknowledged since we were all brought into this world. That is the day that everyone knows. That's the day you get off work, you put on your red, your white, your blue, you cook out, even though Stanley don't want us to. That's what you do, right? So Frederick Douglass said, what to a slave is the 4th of July, right? And he will also say, like, I'm still, and my people are still basically in these shackles. So do you think that being a Black person and being, like being a Black or being a Black female, being a Black male or being a Black female, do you think that intersectionality plays a big part in how you look at or celebrate some of the holidays that there are, or how you even look at them? So like, for instance, 4th of July, for some people, it can be, for some people it's Memorial Day, for some people it's Veterans Day, or just in particular, anything like that.
So for me personally, I think intersectionality, like you were talking about, does play a big part of it in it. So like this previous Memorial Day, I've actually found out that like the tradition of like placing wreaths on graves and holding a service for people that have like fallen in combat was started by Black people. And that's not something that I had ever heard of. And then when a general tried to speak on that and tell people about it, his mic was cut off. And so I think trying to be both like a man and a Black man and an African American Black man, it's like a difficult, it's hard to juggle all of it at the same time, because it's almost like people are trying to force you to be one thing when you're all of them.
Stanley, I feel like you just took the conversation to a whole nother level.
He's our king, okay? That's what Stanley does.
Yeah, I think you answered the question with adding on to the question, but I do agree with Stanley. I don't really want to change the subject on the question that you asked us, but for the particular days, me personally, I really don't feel like sometimes, and I don't know if it's bad to say, but sometimes certain days feel like just another day. And it just be feeling like another day. So depending on what day it is, I really can't think of any off the top of my head. But yeah, it just depends on the day. And as far as being Black female or Black male, I think that's just gonna be something we'll have to deal with for the rest of our lives. Like, we're gonna be Black for the rest of our lives. So yeah, it's gonna always, I hate to say it's gonna always be some type of battle or some type of unfairness. But I mean, we're gonna have to keep our history. We're gonna have to keep teaching the history, so it's gonna be passed down in general. So that's something that's gonna never be forgotten. Like, it's gonna always be like, Black people, we're Black. Like, when it comes around, they're gonna know this list. If that makes sense.
Exactly, Kylah. She said it best. I'm trying to tell you, because honestly, like, it honestly feels like another day. I think it all depends. Well, personally, I feel like it all depends on education and preference. Like, because if you don't understand the holiday, or if you don't understand the excitement or the tradition behind each holiday, the celebration part really wouldn't matter, honestly. Like, you know, like, some people don't celebrate Halloween because of their religious beliefs, or some people don't celebrate Christmas because of their religious beliefs. But like, speaking in terms of what Kylah said, like, as a Black person, that's something that we can't change. That's stuck with us forever, and it's always gonna be one spoiled pea in a pot, and you really can't change. You can change somebody's perspective, but you can't change their actions. However they choose to react to any and everything, it's all on them. So I feel like it depends on preference and education.
I agree with what they said 100%, and they said basically everything I was going to say.
I love the amen, Tiara. Okay. Yes, ma'am. We here for it. What y'all say? Big purr? Is that what it is? Yeah, that one. Jadon, Lazarus, what are your thoughts on intersectionality and, like, you know, the holidays that are celebrated?
What else is there to say? They said it all. There's nothing else you can say.
I definitely agree with the holidays. I don't really get too much into it because of my own personal beliefs, I guess you can say. So it's never been like super important to me. Like my heritage and my culture has, but I never get too captivated into it to where it's just like not aside from my culture, any other holiday, I don't really get too captivated into it to where it just bothers me. But as far as it goes to growing up as a Black man and a Black woman, I think Stanley hit a great point when he said, you got to grow up as a man / woman. You got to grow up as a Black man / Black woman. And you have to grow up as an African Black man and African Black woman. And when it comes to us, he said we get, I think he said we judged based on all of them. See, men and women growing up, you judged being a man. Like you told how to be a man. Now you gotta learn how to be a Black man in a world that don't like Black people. Same way for being an African Black woman, and growing up being a woman. It's hard. People don't understand, and change. It's what, 7 billion, however many people in the world. Every person unique. Everybody think the way they think. You can't be that hero. You can't change everybody's mind. Everybody not gonna listen to you. Everybody don't care. Some people care too much. You know, you just can't. You gotta let people be who they gonna be. You gotta worry about you. Focus on what's important to you. Like I said, you can't be a hero. It's too many unique human beings out here. You never know. People, like they say, people entitled to their own opinions. And it is what it is. So yeah.
It is what it is. Yes. It's one of my favorite memes. I definitely agree. Yeah, I think when I saw the quote itself, I thought about growing up, how, like you all said, like they're just normal days to me. And I would watch other people, whether they look like me or not, get super excited, like, oh, we about to, it's the 4th of July, you should be excited. And I'm just like, but my people were still in chains. Like, what's the joy here? I'm confused. Like, and that's not to say like people aren't entitled to celebrate their holidays and whatnot, but as somebody who, like Dynasty said, is educated and takes the initiative to educate themselves on their own history, it's like I cannot see myself as a Black woman, intersectionality. I can't see myself being joyous when these aren't even things that my people were allowed to celebrate when they first were pitched, and still aren't even, really acknowledged. That's why y'all give us a Women's History Month and a Black Women's History Month. You know what I mean? That's why their things are separated still. And whether that's old Constitution, new Constitution, or whatever the case may be, I think that if the goal of these holidays really is just to celebrate how grand and wonderful the world is, why do we need 2 of them? So that's just me, though. That's just my TED Talk.
One more thing to add to the whole discussion, I guess. I feel like to add on to not being able to change people's minds, I feel like it's simply put, if one day everybody just wake up out the bed and just see the next person or see another person that's a different color, if they just see that person as another person, instead of it, he got to be a different shade, she got to be a different shade, he got to have this religion. Unless everybody just wake up and think and not think that somebody's different because of what they believe, then the world ain't going nowhere. It's just gonna be a whole bunch of repeated cycles. Ain't gonna be no change. Small change, but when you look at the big picture, everything gonna be the same. History just gonna continue to repeat itself. So
Yeah, those are facts. I feel like that's what we're seeing with all like the protests and everything that is happening. We are seeing like history is basically repeating itself, if you will. Dynasty says a bunch of generational curses. Absolutely. And I don't know about y'all, but curses scare me. That's why I don't watch horror movies often, because the curses don't end. I like the movies where the ghosts disappear and we don't have to worry about it anymore, not where they linger and there's a movie 5 and 6. That just doesn't do it for me. So yeah, let's go ahead and figure out how to don't laugh, y'all. I can't. Like, I watched The Conjuring, and when I realized there was another one because they didn't get the demon, I was like, I'm cool. I'm cool on this. That's not the life I like to live. Okay, I need the demons to go bye-bye. So yeah, don't ever invite me to a scary movie. It just won't happen. Sorry. So emancipation. So Juneteenth is really about the day that Black people were emancipated officially from slavery, right? So I looked up the word because if you know me, you know I like to Google things, people, definitions, restaurants, that stuff. So emancipation is the fact or process of being set free from legal, social, or political restrictions / liberation. So my question for you all, think about it. Really think hard, okay? Do you think that this definition really applies to Black people as we've seen throughout history, and that includes today?
could you say it?
Yeah, can you repeat the definition?
Yeah, absolutely. The fact or process of being set free from legal, social, or political restrictions, aka liberation.
No, it doesn't.
Okay.
I feel as though that, I mean, it's supposed to, but I feel like it doesn't because we still struggle with the law today. We still, just like with George Floyd, it took way too long for them to give the person the charges when it was clear as day on the video. So, I mean, I personally feel like that. I don't know how everybody else feel, but I feel like we always gonna have to fight the system. I don't feel like the system is set up for us. Yeah, it's better.
Exactly. And even too, I'm sorry, Tiara, but even too, just to go back to the history with the slaves, even when they were slaves, even when they were slaved and free, they still weren't free. They were still dealing with death threats. We still were segregated. Even though the war was over, we still weren't free, and we still aren't to today because, honey, we were freed. If I could walk outside and be judged by my character, not the skin, the color of my skin. So I feel like that whole definition, that the Emancipation Proclamation doesn't apply to my brothers and sisters because we still aren't freed and we still don't have none of these liberal laws that they were promised to us that we still need to this day. Like Kylah said, it really took y'all that long to set up a court process for a man we literally watched get killed on camera. It shouldn't be that way. It shouldn't take that long. It's not fair. And I just don't feel like we don't apply to the Emancipation Proclamation, at least not yet, because I still have hope.
Okay, she gave y'all the Martin Luther quote. She meant that. Okay, Dynasty King, we hear you.
Well,
Go ahead, Tiara.
they say that we're legally free, we're never still free because people still have those mindset that we're this, we're that. But like Lazarus says, unless everybody wake up and have changed mindset, we are never legally free because no matter what we do, it's still gonna be an issue. Just like when they were free, even when the soldiers came through and said that they were free, people couldn't leave. They were still punished. Some I read somewhere that they were beaten still. Somebody got hanged. Somebody got oh wait, can I say that?
You go ahead, honey. You're totally fine. Listen, it's candid conversation, but it is appropriate candid conversation. So what you're saying isn't defamation or anything. It's what you've read. And it is a part of the ugly history, unfortunately, that we had to suffer through. So go ahead and speak your truth.
Oh yeah. So even though they were legally free and that they they were free, that they were still punished. And so I feel like it doesn't abide by us.
Okay.
Yes, I was definitely going to say it before she said it, but I just wanted to say, like, just because, okay, y'all know how like a teacher be like, stop bullying. Like, somebody can be like, stop bullying all day long. But you know, when you go across some people, you walk across that person is bullying, you don't still feel it in your heart because just because they're not gonna bully you around the teacher or the principal, but they're still gonna do it. So it's kind of like the same in this situation what we're dealing with now. Like, it's a lot of low down stuff going on throughout the world, and it's not gonna be somebody that's gonna see every little thing behind closed doors. It's a whole different like situation. So we're never really gonna get that justice or that respect because even though it's written in law, like the person that wrote the law or the people that's supposed to protect the law all the time are not going to be there every time something goes on wrong. And then depending on who they're hiring, for example, for the police, it's like they're not always on our side either. So I feel like the rules were written, but rules can be written all day. Is you gotta put them into place by the people, and you just like Lazarus says, they gotta wake up and change their mind.
Y'all own it.
I mean, for me, it's like all of our history is like we go 2 steps forward and then they keep pushing us a step back. Like we get out of slavery, we're free, and then they push us into Jim Crow and segregation. I mean, we fight in world wars, and then we come back home, and then our wealth is taken away from us and destroyed. I mean, even with like Juneteenth becoming a federal holiday, the people that voted to make Juneteenth a holiday are the same people that have been voting against voting rights. It's like we're pushing like actions that look good, but nothing that's actually being good.
I'm gonna say it just like this.
Come on, Jadon. Y'all see how he came on the mic?
It's
Come
not
on.
gonna it's not gonna get better until everybody wants it to be better. For example, I can walk into a store. If a Caucasian man or woman is like, because it happens all the time, you get racial profile all being black, especially being a male or female, because females get it a lot. It's not gonna stop until we make it stop. Because you can walk into a store and have someone stand behind you the whole time, thinking you don't steal anything out of a store. I just feel like it's not gonna get better until we all come together as one and make it better. You know what I'm saying? 'Cause, I mean, to be honest, look at society now. Look at it. It's not where it needs to be at all. I'm just saying.
Well, stay on. There is a lot of work that needs to be done. I agree. Absolutely. Come on, Lazarus.
Society definitely is on a downward spiral. The way it is now, I don't see it. I don't see things turning around. Now, as much as we all come as one, as much as or as hard as we try, new problems are always gonna rise. Not to say that we can't overcome, but like I said, it's a lot of people in this world. A lot of people who like to think the way they like to think. A lot of people with minds who can't be changed. So, you know, it's okay to fight. But more of what I'm saying is the fighting is never gonna stop, which is why things are never gonna get better. Now, you may be able to fix this little problem or fix that little problem, but when you look at the main goal, we're not gonna get there. Like he said, we can move up the ladder and then we go back down the ladder 2 steps. We working hard and as we supposed to, we're not supposed to just sit quiet and let things happen. But in that happening, the fighting is never gonna stop. It's this is gonna always happen. This is the world. This is the world we live in. And years from now, it's gonna be worse than it is. And years from then, it's gonna get even worse than that. And we still gonna be fighting. And that's just the world we live in. And we gotta learn how to cope with that. And that's how we raising our kids. We raising them into this world, this cruel world, as I like to say, full of people who don't, hey, son, they not gonna like you. You black. You know, they not gonna treat you right. You a black man. You a black woman. That's the world you're gonna live in. And it ain't getting no better. This it. You know, I'm stop. I can go on.
No, you're fine. You actually raised a very good point that actually is gonna give me my next question for you all. But before we do that, I want to say that I agree with you all, because it is a sense of almost like history repeating itself. Like if you read not the textbooks, but if you do your reading and you know, and any elder person has told you things, it's almost like we're living through what the movies are. You know, you ever seen like the Ruby Bridges films and all that? Like you're seeing it. And it is interesting because I thought about how Simone Biles, shout out to our good sis, how she was like the only person in the Olympics who could do like this super amazing flip that no one else can do, but she's penalized for it. You know what I mean? Or even when you think about how, I can't remember who it was, but someone told LeBron James, basically shut up and dribble. He gave an opinion on something that pertains to Black people, Black culture, and he was told to shut up and dribble, right? So it is something like that. So I definitely see like there's no, if you don't, you have to start at the beginning. And the beginning is that that Black people are only 3/5, right? That's where you have to start. If they're really like, yeah, we want to see change, we want to incorporate change, it doesn't start with, well, here's Juneteenth as a holiday, everyone gets it off, because everyone benefits from that. We don't. You know what I mean? That just means we get another day off work. Great. But what does that do at the end of it? So it really is start at the beginning and let's work from there. Don't just, make holidays and give people days off. What does that do for me? Other than have me sitting at home and everybody else sitting at home? Nothing. So I agree. So Lazarus, you said something and it makes me wonder, when is the first time that you all realized that you were Black? Think about it, because everyone has that moment, right? Where you're like, dang, I'm really like, I'm not just a kid, I'm not just a boy, I'm not just a girl, I'm a Black person. I'm stretched all out. Yeah.
First off, am I breaking up?
Say something.
Something.
You're good.
Okay. The first time I realized I was Black, as always, with me, it came through sports, and it came through my trainer. His name, people may know him. His name, Coach O. He go by Coach O. Leverett. But I was training one time, and I was getting real discouraged, and my confidence in myself was going out the window. So basically, I just looked like a sad man, as you could say. I guess you could say. He looked at me and he grabbed me, and he looked me in my eyes. He tall. I was looking up at him, and as I was looking at him, he had this look in his eyes. It's just, I don't even know how to explain it. It just had me. I was just staring at him. He was staring at me. And he was like, he said, you a Black man. You being raised in like I said, in a world that they don't value you. And on top of that, you a Black man. You a Black male. So he was telling me the way I was acting, I was gonna have to fix all that. And then I always looked at myself as a kid with a dream, trying to make it. And I never looked at the world for what it was until he said that. And it kind of woke me up. It woke me up. Like I was in a dream. It just woke me up to reality, to what things were really like. And it put a lot of things in perspective for me. And it kind of made me more who I am today. So that's got me.
Shout out to Coach.
think I realized this made me, I'm gonna just explain it because I think I realized I was Black when like wearing my natural hair out, my afro was a form of not being classy or elegant, or when it wasn't, I guess a clean way to look. I just remember getting a whole bunch of times of wrong kind of commentary towards having my natural hair out, and I never understood because you would see other races and other women freely wear their hair, or it don't look good unless it's pressed, or it don't look good unless it's pulled up or pulled away. And I feel like that's when I really realized having my kind of skin was a big deal when I could wear my hair and express myself how I would want to.
I agree with Dynasty said, exactly 100%. But I always knew I was Black, but I feel like when I realized that my Blackness was seen different than others, when I was on a field trip, it was like with the gifted community, and I was on a field trip to an art museum, and the lady had asked, she was not of my race, but she had asked us some questions about the painting, like, what do we think about the painting? What do we think was going on in the painting? So me and my classmates, we was just saying like what we felt the painting was going on. She was like, wow, I didn't know that y'all could talk like that. And I was like, yeah. And then she was like, y'all are so intelligent. Y'all really shocked me. I'm like, we was just saying how we feel. So I guess she thought that we couldn't like speak on that level of intelligence, or like she was shocked how we act. And she was like, y'all are so well behaved and stuff. Like, it just really shook me because I didn't understand what she was trying to say.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
For me, it was definitely not. It was like it was like Tiara was saying. I always knew I was Black, but there was a moment where I realized like, oh, this is gonna bring on some like extra work that I'm going to have to do all the time. And so it was like what was that? That would have been, I can't even remember. It was in elementary school, and I got into an argument with another student, and eventually it got heated, and he told me to go back to Africa. Which, of course, made no sense to me when I first heard it, because I was like, no, I'm like from right outside of Birmingham. I've never been outside of Alabama, so I think you got it mixed up. So, but after that, it kind of hit me really hard that I'm gonna have to deal with things that no one should ever have to deal with because of how my skin is.
Jadon?
When I looked at my hand, I saw I was a little brown. I said, okay, I got a little season in me. I think I know what to do with this. I think I know what to do. But yeah, I figured I was always, African American Black, but it was like I was playing on the playground, man. And it was me and a group of my friends who was playing football. So it was the ball. I think it was 5 of us. It was 5-on-5. And it was a Caucasian kid on the other team. And he told me actually, he said, that's the only thing you'll be able to do in life is play football. I said, really? And he kept on, and he was trying to fix it, but I knew where he was going with this. Because hey, I'm smart now. You can't outsmart me. Because you could tell that his family was prejudiced because they had them a truck, and they had back then I didn't know the difference between the Confederate flag and our state flag because it's the same. So they had a nice Confederate flag smacked up on the front of their truck. I said, well, ain't that something? But I've been on our backs. Look at these hands. These nice hands right here.
A mess. Jada said, I looked at my hand and knew I had powers. I like, I ain't mad at it. Miss Kylah. I know she visiting family, so she was like, I might be in and out. I ain't mad at it. Let me see. So yeah, I'm like you all. My family is pretty black to the point where we watch Roots every Christmas, y'all. All of it, y'all. For a long time, I think I was about 14 years old. Roots consistently. So yeah, so we knew, but I think the moment I recognized it, I was at school, I would say probably kindergarten, first grade, and there was a girl who got upset. Like, I don't know, the teacher asked some stupid question. Like, you know, it's kindergarten, so it's not like a SAT, change your life, you about to get grant money, kind of scholarship money question. She asked it, I answered it, and she's like, oh, the blank knows something. And I was just like, I know a lot of things. And yeah, my mom took me out of school that year because she was concerned about, you know, me starting a career of violence, because I was like, sis, you got the, because I knew that word, right? Of course, like I told you, I've been watching Roots. So I knew the word and I knew the connotation and I knew the anger that she had behind it. So about first grade, we were scrapping because you know, ma'am, that the wrong one on the right day, okay, got me messing up my pleated skirt. I'm upset. So yeah, that was the first time I recognized, well, not recognized, but that was the first time I had a moment where I didn't just see me as Black, but I knew other people saw it as well. And like Tiara was saying, it came with the notion of you're not intelligent. And so ever since then, I told myself, like, I'm going to hurt people with my words. Like, I'm not ever going to have to physically get you, but these words are going to make you contemplate why it is that you decided to speak to me to begin with. So I encourage you all to do the same. Sometimes you don't got to touch people, just talk to them. And that's the worst. So yeah. Okay. All right. So let's get into these next ones so we can get y'all out of here, right? So what word? Okay, well, let me ask y'all this, and this one's for my ladies specifically, but gentlemen, please feel free to jump in here. So I saw a tweet that said that the murders of Black women do not arouse the same amount of concern or outrage as that of a Black man, right? And so we're thinking intersectionality here, of course, and we're thinking difference between genders. What do you all think about that? And I would love for the ladies to go first here. So again, it says the murders of Black women do not arouse the same amount of concern or outrage as that of a Black man.
I have mixed emotions about that because I really understand what they were getting at, but I think her name was Sandra when that lady was killed at the police thing, and then it was like evidence that she. Hold on, I'm sorry.
She's like, I'm trying to save the world. Come on now, y'all.
I'm sorry, my sister's doing too much. But it was like evidence that she was killed before her picture was taken, and you could tell that her eyes was photoshopped on, and how her hair, it was like it wasn't leaning down, it was leaning back, but like you could tell. Oh wait, what was the question?
You're fine. So the tweet says that the murders of Black women don't arouse the same amount of concern or anger as that of a Black man.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
That's
so,
what
yeah, so basically like when Sandra Bland, when she was we have to say allegedly, when she was assumed to have been murdered before her headshot, that you're saying that did arouse the same amount of anger as it would have for a Black male?
Yeah, it did, but it's not often occurrence that all Black women that were murdered was, aroused.
Okay. Miss Dynasty?
I'm still in my thinking moment, but I can take some from what Tiara said. I know what she mean when she says she know what they're getting at when that question is asked. But I personally feel like I think it's all surrounded by what they look at each gender as. I'm sorry, y'all, this out loud, house phone. Because you may look at these women as these vulnerable individuals who are very emotional and don't take things as well as a man would. And you may look at a man like this stronghold, uppity individual who don't go through things and don't have emotions. I think it all depends on people's outlook on gender stereotypes and gender in general, because murder for anybody, no matter what gender, what age you are, it's not rightful at all. It don't matter who it is. So I just feel like the world should just, I guess you could say, accept the fact that no matter what gender it is murder. And that's basically my point. Yes.
Right. Yeah. Gentlemen, any comments, questions, cookies?
I forget her name. It was a lady. She was sleeping in her, I think it was her apartment. They were looking for her boyfriend, I think.
Breonna Taylor?
Exactly. I forget her name, but that made a lot of people upset because it wasn't, well, as a policeman, because I'm going to school for criminal justice, so I had to study this already. As a policeman, you're supposed to announce when you're about to bust in the house. When you don't do it, what's the first thing you're gonna do? Honestly, you're gonna go and get your protection, and if you say something, you don't respond, shots get fired. I mean, it's like if I'm asleep and you bust in my house, I'm gonna get my baseball bat. You know what I'm saying? Like it's gonna go down in this house, you know? So I feel like that it caused up a lot of emotion because a lot of people were upset, and I was very upset. Because as a policeman, you are supposed to do what you are told to during the academy. So, yeah, I mean, and then it took them a long time to convict the people, just like the George Floyd case. It shouldn't take this long. It shouldn't. And this is why I go back to what I saying, society is the way it is, because it's not equal at all. I'm done.
I'm done. I've had enough. We've got last saying police should be more prone and taught more to control their emotions. Yeah, absolutely.
Just to build off of what Jadon was saying, I totally agree. Like, we're experiencing a level of inequality that's like, that it's hard to notice, but it's very systemic and it's trying to pull us apart, right? So, and it's at like multiple levels. So at the base level, we've got like the killing of an unarmed Black person. And then at a higher level, there's the fact that she was a woman and that some outlets aren't covering it as much as they would if a Black man got killed because there was a woman killed instead of a man. And so then that tries to divide us as a group, tries to pull us apart and turn us against each other, which is more important, the murder of Black men or the murder of Black women, when the murder of any person we have to treat as equally important and equally necessary to prosecute. And then we're fighting a system that is trying to protect people that are failing their job at the highest level, essentially.
Y'all better talk about it. Y'all better get on it. I agree with each of you. And I definitely like Stanley's point. It is almost like you hear about some more than others, specifically some news stations may be focused on the men, some on the women. And that creates that conversation on social media and just, amongst people where it's like, oh, well, if this was a woman, you wouldn't care. Oh, if this was a man, you wouldn't care. When in reality, if you pay attention really, and you read and you do your research, you'll see that the women who are coming up missing, the Black women who are coming up missing, that's talked about. It may get brushed over, but then it's up to you to continue the conversation, right? It's up to you to be like, okay, this is what I'm concerned about. When it comes to seeing Black people get murdered, whether male or female, it is up to you to say, okay, this is what I'm concerned about. This is what this is what I would like to see reform or change for. So I agree. It is more of a, it doesn't get the same amount of anger or concern, but it is what forces are into play to make it seem like one is more important than the other to the world. So I agree with that one. Okay, last question. Okay, I got some more questions for y'all. Last question, and then we'll get into 20 seconds or less, right? So what is one bit of advice or encouragement that you could offer to Black children in general when it comes to their Blackness, when it comes to being proud of themselves, of their history, of the culture that is being a Black person?
I would say keep your head up and love who you are, because you can't change yourself. You're gonna be Black for the rest of your life, so just why not enjoy it and be you? And don't try to impress other people by like straightening your hair. Just love it and embrace it because you're unique.
Come on, Tupac, with the quotes.
And I would probably tell the younger Black generation to change the narrative. Everything they say, do the opposite of. Everything they say you'll be the opposite of. Just change the narrative.
Period. I like that.
Oh, you can go.
I'm so sorry. You can go.
I was just going to say that I would let them know that it's going to be hard because society's going to almost force them to work twice as hard and have to be twice as smart to get to the position that other people can get to just by being in the right spot at the right time. And that is going to be difficult, but that being Black is not bad. Being Black is good. It's wonderful. And that no matter how hard life gets, you have to remember that you have to take a minute to appreciate it, because so many people don't get to.
Jadon, anybody? Go ahead, Jadon.
I'm gonna say it's not gonna get any easier, because you're going to be fighting a ongoing war, and it's gonna get tough because there's a lot of things that's gonna happen that you're not gonna expect to happen. I'm talking to them now, like being so young, it's not gonna, how can I put this? It's not gonna get easier. It's gonna get hard before it gets easier. There it is. That's what I was trying to say. It's not gonna get. So I would just be like, just stay yourself, stay true to yourself, and just be the best person that you can be. Don't let nobody tell you from what you want to do with your life, being a Black boy or girl.
I would say recognize yourself, recognize your worth, love who you are, be confident who you are, love those that are just like you, those that you think are not like you, those that hate you. Keep your head up, because when you look at it, you're in the middle of a war, in the middle of the battlefield, naked. You under fire, ain't no cover, and that's something you're gonna have to live with. That's what you're growing up in. It's not gonna be easy, but as long as you know who you are, as long as you love yourself, as long as you love others, as long as that's in you, as long as you take care of others, good heart, you may make it, you may not, being honest, but the goal is to survive. And the ultimate goal is to conquer, overcome. So I would say that just to keep it in their head, I guess. That's it.
All right. He didn't give the babies a flash flood warning. He's like, look, this is life wrapped up with a bow on it. Okay. What would I say to the younger babies and even to y'all? I mean, I tell y'all this all the time. Y'all are the table, right? Y'all are the table that the plate is on and the seats are at. I really do believe that. And I tell my siblings, I tell myself, I remind myself consistently, we are the blueprint, right? Everything that is culture-wise, everything that is from the music to the art, to the hair, to the nails, to the words that come out of people's mouths, to the world that has been built, to technology, to architect, has been touched, started, designed, whatever, by Black people. The way that we are is imitated, never correctly, but it's imitated. It is fantasized over, and that is because we are the blueprint. And I never want any Black child to forget that, or to forget themselves when they see that the world may not appreciate them and love them as they are. Because at the end of the day, what everybody is striving for is already in you. You have it. Own it. Don't allow anybody to make you feel like it is not yours. That's why you see, the Black sense online. That's why you see people saying, oh, I'm 3% African American, or on my granddaddy's side, he knew a Black woman once. It's because everybody wants to be Black, but nobody wants to be Black, to quote Paul Mooney, the appropriate way. So own it. You are, like they said, who you are. You can't change it. So be proud, rock that crown that you have, and don't let anybody make you feel bad about it. And that's just on period. That's me, what I have to say to y'all. Yeah. So let's debrief, y'all, because we got a little heavy, and I could sit and talk with y'all about this all night because I'm very passionate about us. So, Stanley, you ready? They don't know how this go, but we're gonna show them something tonight. All right, here's what we do, y'all. It's called 20 seconds or less. And basically, you get a category, and you have 20 seconds or less to complete that category. For example, if I said Lazarus in 20 seconds or less, name me 5 songs by Kendrick Lamar. It sounds easy, but I promise you, it's big stressful. And because it's Juneteenth, y'all, we're gonna keep it blackety black black. So, Stanley, who should go first? Turn my alarm on here.
I think Dynasty should go first.
Ooh, he's stressing my sis. Look at her. Her puff deflated a little bit from the stress. She's like, wait a minute. All right, Miss Dynasty, you ready?
No. Yes.
That's all right. We're going to ease you into this. Can you name me, what y'all think? Y'all got a 5 seconds or less for Dynasty? How are you going to beat when I press play?
Be nice to me now. So stop.
Foods that start with P.
What letter?
P.
Ooh, foods that start with P. I will say that you gotta cook. Hold on, wait, you got excited. I should say foods gotta be at a cookout, but I'm gonna let you have that. Okay, ready? In 3, 2, 1.
Peaches, pizza. How many? Prunes. Peaches, pizza, prunes, pineapples, popcorn.
You got it with 8 seconds to spare. Don't nobody ever say prunes. We're gonna check on you. That's not okay. Nobody just thinks of prunes, baby. That's not okay. Let me see who we picking on next. Jadon. Ooh, you're stressed, y'all. Every time he got on the mic, he's like, well, All right, Jadon. Y'all got a 5 seconds or less for our cousin Jadon.
Oh, Lord. I wasn't ready for this.
I'm trying to think. Ooh, Jadon, I got you.
No.
You said you study the laws and things. Do you watch the law shows? Because I'm that person, y'all.
Oh,
you stressed? Can you name me 5 Supreme Court judges? He's stressed. You want to try?
No.
Okay. Name me 5 songs you would hear at a Black cookout. Ready? 3, 2, 1.
You got so many. You do, what's that song? Happy Feelings by Frankie Beverly. You can do The Temptations. You could do Marvin Gaye. what's that boy name? Luther. It was Luther and it was another one. Oh man.
How'd you miss the ultimate one though, y'all? Maze and Frankie Beverly.
I said Frankie.
No, you didn't.
Yes, I did.
Y'all, did he say Maze?
I said Frankie Beverly. Yes, I did. I didn't say Maze, but I said Frankie.
All right. We're going to run it back and see because I don't think you did. But if you did, okay. He said Luther. Hey, Cousin Lazarus, how you doing? He was like, man, here she come bothering me. So see, I heard you bumping your music one day, and I said, okay, my cousin knows some music.
Me bumping my music.
I heard you bumping your music. You listen to K-Dot?
No.
You don't listen to Kendrick Lamar?
Oh, Kendrick.
Yeah.
Not recently.
Okay. So here's what I need from you. I don't need recent Kendrick, but I do need 5 Kendrick Lamar songs. In 3, 2, 1.
You got DNA. I think that was one of them.
Okay.
Poetic Justice, was that his?
That was my theme song in college. Mm-hmm.
All right, this is it. I don't know.
Y'all help your cousin out. He was stressed.
Love, loyalty. How many videos?
Do you actually?
Yeah, one more.
I ain't gonna say anybody else, but.
He said, I know new Kendrick. Okay.
But it was like that.
All the stars. That's your last one.
There you go, Dynasty.
All the your last one.
Y'all, I forgot about that. Yeah.
I heard you try. Tiara. Oh, hey, sis, how's it going? Yeah, we see you over there looking cute. Big purse. Let's see, what is Miss Tiara into? Tiara, can you name me 5 songs by who, y'all? Who you thinking?
Beyonce.
That's so easy. Okay, Beyonce when she was in Destiny's Child.
Oh, please do not take my black card. But I didn't listen to Destiny's Child, so I don't.
This needs to have.
I just know say the name. No.
Excuse me.
I'm so sorry. My mama was on weekends, so she never cleaned the house to that music. But
when it's time to get your telephone bill, your automobile paid, you can't go know the songs, man.
Oh,
everybody's singing it the truth here. Okay, I'm hurt, but I'm gonna let you ride. Oh, my spirit. Okay, can you name me 5 Jhené Aiko songs? I got you. Okay, ready? 3. As my heart heals. 3, 2, 1.
On my way. Fairy. What's the song with Childish Gambino? Let me think something else. I don't want to say these words. I kill you. What's the other song? Wait, how many did I name?
5 Smoke.
Oh my God.
But you out of time, girl. You had me stressed off the first 2 alone.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
You just jumped right in there, didn't you? And notice for the parents, don't listen to none of the songs y'all heard her suggest.
Please don't.
Fairy, okay? Don't do that. Wow. Let me regroup. Look, Jadon is concerned for the children. Cousin Stanley, how's it hanging? Y'all, we got to think of a hard one. Stanley's a pro at this. He's done played about what, 6 times?
I think Stanley needs 10.
You can make
you
it.
said 10?
I think Stanley needs 10.
I think so, and we'll give you
I don't
25
think Stanley needs 10.
I think Stanley needs about 10.
Yeah, we'll give you
3.
We're gonna give you 10 in 25 seconds because we're so generous like that. So Stanley, in 25 seconds, can you name us?
Let me see.
Ooh, name 10 of your crew cousins.
Ready? Hold on. And you can't name the ones on the call. Bam. So, because he thought he was going to get it like that. We're going to stress him out, y'all. 3, 2, 1.
Okay, Zaria, Brandon, Blake, Alan, that's 4. Trying to think. Why can I not think? Jayla, and did that? That's 5.
It's stressful, right?
Yeah.
I want y'all to remember that when I be stumbling over names. It's 25 of y'all or 24 of y'all. It be hard. I know y'all in my heart, okay? He did 5, y'all. We gonna give him that. He did good. You get a little clap. All right, y'all, come on. Let's go. Let me get this out the way. What y'all got for me? Oh, no.
I think Nisaa should also do 10 because I think you've done this more than me, actually, haven't you?
Ooh, it's the disrespect for me. Okay, 10 what? I ain't scared. What y'all got for me?
10 crew members, 10 crew interns.
Jesus Christ of Lazarus. Oh wait, that's you. Okay. Yeah, no, y'all ever said, okay, never mind. That's just something we say in my house. Jesus Christ and Lazarus. Y'all don't say that? Okay, never mind. All right, here we go. Who's setting the timer? Cause Stanley think I be cheating. Here, I got it. Y'all ready? Okay, we have Kylah. She's not here, so I can say Kylah. Blake, Brandon, Sam. I almost said Matthew. Will. What's the baby name? Brandon. Not Brandon. Lord have mercy, Jesus. Y'all, this hard.
Say Brandon twice, then yeah.
Josh, Adley, Zaria.
I was trying to say Cameron, but it wouldn't come out. It came out as B. And then I was looking at Jadon's name, trying not to say Katie, because it's hard. All right, y'all. All right, so what we're gonna do now, thank you all for playing. As y'all can see, 20 seconds or less is just the way to debrief, get us out of that serious mode. Thank you all. Yeah, another reminder, don't look up those songs Tiara mentioned. Just don't do it. All right, so one word, how you feel about the conversation? We done cured cancer, we done saved the world. Juneteenth is now a holiday. Happy Juneteenth again, my beautiful Black people. How y'all feeling? Let's start with Dynasty. How you feel, sis?
I'm feeling elevated and educated. I feel like, I'm inspired to know more about my history, honestly.
Okay. Come through, Cousin Lazarus, how we feeling?
I don't know if it's a real descriptive way to put it, but I feel like the way I'm feeling, like blunt, I guess. I don't really know how to put it in this perspective, but I just feel like I'm in a realness state of mind, if you understand what I'm saying.
Yeah.
That's how I feel about it.
Okay. He said, I'm here. What's down with you? We love it. All right. Cousin Tiara, how we feeling? She said, I feel like my sister need to leave me alone.
Well, they being noisy. I'm so sorry, but I feel educated and open-minded.
I love it. All right. Cousin Stanley, how we feeling?
I'm feeling excited and empowered.
Ooh, why these E's? I love it. Cousin Jadon, how you feeling?
I feel seasoned, you know what I'm saying?
Hey,
Seasoned.
a little seasoned over there.
I feel seasoned and I feel, enthusiastic. Is that past tense today? Enthusiastic, you know what I'm saying? Seasoned and enthusiastic. I had to think it was a past tense. But yeah, seasoned and enthusiastic.
I like that. And I like how y'all all use E's. Come on, alliteration. We love it. I guess I gotta keep it going, huh? I feel that's an I. Ooh, hooked on phonics is real, y'all. I almost said impeccable. Come on, Miss Nisaa, get it together. I feel excellent. I feel like excellence, okay? And as you can see, I dressed for the occasion, okay? Because you have to. So yes, that's how I feel. I feel excellence with my roots and being able to celebrate that and spend it speaking with you all and hearing how you all feel and think and how you all are going to change the world. So, ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank you to Stanley, Dynasty, Tiara, to Kylah. She had to go, but we thank her for her time with us. To Jadon, appreciate each of you for accepting the invitation, for coming open-mindedly with all your seasoned excellence, your empowerment, for feeling your bluntness, all of that. So thank you all for taking the time out. To the audience, please drop your word in the chat. Let us know how you're feeling. Your thoughts on this episode. Of course, happy Juneteenth, and we'll see you right after this for the 30-minute Q&A. Peace.